Welcome to Khartoum. I'm very happy to talk to Euronews.
What's your assessment of the growing role of terrorist organizations such as ISIL, Al-Qaeda and Boko Haram in the Arab region?
ISIL suddenly came out of nowhere with a strength and a force usually only states can acquire. For example, unlike small militias, the group has armored vehicles. It leads us to wonder where their resources came from. Who is backing such organizations?
We
emphasize that their acts are very brutal, which is totally offensive to Islam. They distort the image of Islam and play a significant role in the current campaign, which aims to distort the image of the religion in the world. Acts carried out by ISIL, such as the execution of journalists and prisoners and the burning to death of the Jordanian pilot, are not linked to Islam. I must also add the cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad to this list. We can say that US policies in the region and America's support of Israel are some of the main reasons why people join these organizations. These organizations are undoubtedly supported by international bodies which are totally offensive to Islam. We see that the killings and attacks are happening in Muslim areas, and we wonder if these groups aim to destroy the Muslim world. Do they want to divide Muslim countries? Are they aiming to stir up violent internal conflicts within them? Looking at the other side of things, there are some young people who join these organizations because they have genuine affiliations, and they are totally convinced by the objectives of such groups. For example, the person who wears a suicide belt and believes he will go to paradise when he blows himself up.
So, do you think the CIA is somehow supporting these organizations?
I say that the CIA and Mossad stand behind these organizations because, aside from the US and Israel, no other entity has anything to gain from funding such groups. There is no Muslim ready to carry out such acts. Bombing and killing people is forbidden in the Islamic religion, and the Prophet Muhammad said about Mecca, demolishing the Kaaba completely is much easier upon Allah Almighty than shedding the blood of a single believing Muslim. So what about the mass killings that happen nowadays?
Are any of these organizations present in Sudan? Can you see their influence?
There have been many attempts to set up this type of organization in Sudan. We had a group of young people who went to fight in Iraq during the American invasion, who were then asked to return to Sudan to establish a branch of Al-Qaeda. These groups started to take shape and were armed. But we were able to recognize that. We are following a certain policy with such organizations. They act according to a certain thought process, and we must also respond by thinking rather than fighting, because violent attempts to fight these young people could lead to further extremism. Our policy has been largely successful. After we arrest these young people, through very complex procedures, we then introduce them to a group of young religious scholars who will talk to them about their thoughts. We are very successful in bringing a lot of people back from radicalism and reforming their ideas.
What's the main piece of advice you'd give to the international community in dealing with the issue of terrorism?
Taking a look at the policies of the US and the country's boundless support of Israel, as well as the Israeli policy against the Palestinians, these are the most important reasons why young people are joining such organizations. Because of Israeli aggression against holy sites, specifically the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Israel's Judaization of Jerusalem and the expulsion of Palestinians from their homes, plus what happened in Gaza, all of these actions serve to anger Muslim youths.